Thank you, ABTO. Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Prahlad Singh Patel ji, Minister of Tourism and Culture, Government of India. Esteemed guests and speakers from India and all over Asia and the world participating in today's APTO Convention and IBTM 2020. President and Secretary General of ABTO, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I wish to convey my gratitude and thanks to Honorable Tourism Minister of India for extending all support of the ministry to APTO for organizing IBTM 20 and APTO Convention and agreeing to grace this event. In the same breath, I wish to congratulate the President of APTO, Dr. Kolesh, for their complete dedication to the cause of promoting Buddhist tourism in India and in the entire Asian region, and for convening yet another edition of IBTM at Bodh Gaya, the land of enlightenment. I still cherish the memory of the success of IBTM 2019, in which I had the opportunity to participate. Ladies and gentlemen, APTO has also selected a very relevant subject for today's international convention, which is the prime concern of all stakeholders of travel and tourism all over the world. The topic, revival of tourism, with particular reference to promotion of cross-border tourism, Buddhist tourism, and domestic tourism, and how tourism would be essential to the new world and in the new normal. They are all very important issues currently. Ladies and gentlemen, tourism is extremely sensitive to disruptions happening around its ecosystem. The unprecedented disruption caused by COVID-19 left the tourism world grappling with multiple challenges. However, tourism has exhibited in the past highest level of adaptability, resilience, creativity, and innovations to all these disruptions, and therefore has the capability to bounce back sooner than later. Ladies and gentlemen, the good news is that the vaccination of the first human being, Miss Margaret of United Kingdom, 2 days ago, is the beginning of the revival and bouncing back of the tourism industry. However, in the past, even in the post-vaccine period, I can say that it is not going to be identical to the pre-COVID stage because a lot of transformations have happened. The transformation in travelers' behavior, it has made traveler more dependent on digital technology. There is high weightage attached to the health safety. There's a greater preference for health and wellness, eco and nature tourism. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to also realize that vaccinating the entire human community is going to be a long drawn exercise. Therefore, restarting travel and tourism in the new world would need all stakeholders to learn to live with the pandemic and manage risks, follow the health protocols and principles of safety, confidence, and trust. There is also a need for ensuring greater government to government and government to industry collaboration to develop fundamentals to return to long term growth and sustainability, to build global safety standards, and to formulate effective government policies to facilitate faster recovery of the sector. Ladies and gentlemen, while COVID has been disastrous for the entire humanity and particularly for travel and tourism sector, it has also taught us some good lessons. And one such good lesson is to be self-reliant, which is the biggest takeaway, both for individuals as well as nations. And the policy of self-reliance, ladies and gentlemen, is relevant for all industries, including travel and tourism, as it has been the hardest hit. It is therefore time that the industry seriously deliberated to find feasible solutions, not only to stand on its feet, but also to move forward to achieve greater self-reliance. And ladies and gentlemen, the best option for a quick revival of tourism in any nation is to focus on domestic tourism. The importance of domestic tourism in larger countries is even more. If we take the case of India, India has achieved a phenomenal average growth of over 13% during the last 2 decades and has touched a record figure of 2 billion domestic tourist visits. Ladies and gentlemen, COVID has also proved that it is the indigenous and the local which has played the biggest role in management of crisis in India and have kept the nation moving. On similar note, domestic tourism and local traveling will help to keep India tourism moving. The union government, realizing the strength of domestic tourism, has already unleashed a mega virtual promotional campaign known as Dekho Apna Desh. Friends, other than promoting domestic tourism, the second best opportunity for a quicker revival of tourism within and among nations is cross-border tourism. Needless to mention, ABTO has a large representation of Asian countries, and currently Asia has been playing a central role in global tourism, both as a destination region and an outbound market. It is also interesting to note that intra-regional tourism, including cross-border tourism, predominates in Asia, with almost 80% of Asia's international tourist arrivals originating in Asia itself. Tourism has therefore made the Asian economies highly dependent on each other within the region. Increased regional cooperation for tourism is therefore in the interest of all Asian nations. COVID pandemic has also shown us the importance of shorter distance traveling, signifying greater reliance on cross-border tourism. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings me to the relevance and significance of Buddhist tourism in India and the Asian region. In fact, among all other tourism products and themes which may be common to the various countries across the Asian region, Buddhist tourism is the biggest driving theme for the entire Asian region, and it offers the biggest opportunity for cross-border tourism in the region. As you are aware, Buddhist tourism is of immense value to India because of large spread and following of Buddhism, both among Buddhists and non-Buddhists, as a religion and as a philosophy all over the world. Buddhist tourism is one of the strongest USPs of India tourism, having potential to attract huge number of Buddhist and non-Buddhist travelers from all over the world. In fact, Tourism Ministry of India has taken a large number of initiatives in the last decade to showcase Buddhist Buddhist heritage and pilgrim sites in India. The ministry has been regularly organizing an international Buddhist conclave every alternate year since 2010 in collaboration with the state government. In fact, IBTM is also one of those efforts of ABTO to promote Buddhist tourism in India and Asia, and they are doing an excellent job. To develop world-class infrastructure in and around Buddhist tourism destination, the Ministry of Tourism of India has identified Buddhist circuit as one of the thematic circuits under its flagship program of Swadesh Darshan. 5 projects have been sanctioned so far under Buddhist circuit. In fact, the new draft National Tourism Policy of 2020 also emphasizes special focus on development and promotion of Buddhist circuit in collaboration with the state government. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for India and the nations of this region to work together and synergize and prepare for the new global order, for the new world, for the modern world. I can say with utmost confidence that the new modern world of tourism is going to be brighter than before. It's going to be more resilient and adaptable than before, and will also bring an array of new opportunities that will take travel and tourism to commanding heights higher than ever before. And before I close, I once again would like to thank the Honorable Tourism Minister of India for all his support, and would like to once again thank ABTO for this wonderful international event and for inviting me to share my thoughts. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Jai Hind.